5 trades that make sense at the NFL trading deadline. The NFL's trading deadline is rapidly approaching. This year's trading period ends October 31st at 4 p.m. ET. Afterward, trades can't be executed again until the 2018 league year begins on March 14th at 4 p.m. ET. Bold moves or blockbuster deals are virtually non-existent at the trading deadline. The biggest move since the 2011 lockout ended has been the Raiders giving the Bengals a 2012 first-round pick and a 2013 second-round pick for quarterback Carson Palmer in 2011. It's the only time a first- or second-round pick has been given up in a post-lockout deal at the trading deadline. This means the Giants aren't going into full rebuilding mode by reuniting Eli Manning with his former head coach Tom Coughlin, the Jaguars' executive vice president of football operations, in Jacksonville. 14 deals have been made in the days leading up to the expiration of the trading period over the past 6 years. The mid-September trade of linebacker Stephon Anthony, a 2015 first-round pick, from the Saints to the Dolphins for a 2018 fifth-round pick is indicative of the types of deals that are typically made as the trading deadline nears. The Patriots have been the most active team. Out of the 11 trades made over the past 5 years at or near the trading deadline, 6 involved the Patriots. Surprisingly, Jamie Collins, who turned down a lucrative extension from the Patriots during training camp last year, was dealt to the Browns for a 2017 third-round pick at the 2016 deadline. The speculation that New England would move cornerback Malcolm Butler, who is likely to leave in free agency after this season, before the deadline has died down because of injuries to cornerbacks Stephon Gilmore and Eric Rowe. There's optimism that this year's deadline will be different because of the flurry of trades surrounding the early September roster cutdown. The lack of a dominant team or two emerging might be an impetus for increased deadline activity. Over 3/4 of the NFL has between 3 and 5 wins after 7 weeks of the season. Below are 5 trades keeping in the spirit of the deals traditionally made as the trading deadline approaches. A team acquiring a player will only be responsible for 9/17 of his 2017 base salary and any other applicable salary components in his contract. A trade wasn't proposed unless the acquiring team had the requisite salary cap room to complete the transaction. It was very tempting to suggest a scenario where Bills defensive tackle Marcel Harris, who has been shopped, is dealt because he got off on the wrong foot with the new regime of head coach Sean McDermott and general manager Brandon Beane. Other major pieces from former general manager Doug Whaley's tenure have already been moved. Teams are reluctant to absorb the almost $5.2 million left of Dara's 2017 base salary and an additional 4 contract years worth $50.01 million. Which include a $7.35 million 2018 salary guarantee, while giving up substantial draft picks for a player with character concerns who gives inconsistent effort. It would be hard to fault the Bills for insisting on compensation similar to what the Jets received for defensive lineman Sheldon Richardson, whose off-field issues are well documented. Seattle essentially gave up a 2018 second-round pick and wide receiver Jermaine Kearse, who immediately became a starter with Jets, for Richardson at roster cutdowns. Cowboys owner Jerry Jones has a high tolerance for character concerns and off-field transgressions. Although the Jaguars' defense is tremendous against the pass and on pace to set an NFL single-season record for sacks, it ranks 30th against the run, 138.6 yards per game, and last with 5.2 yards per rushing attempt. Dara's best football was in 2013 and 14 when current Jaguars head coach Doug Marrone was in charge of the Bills. Here's a list of trades that would make sense at the trading deadline. Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie, CB, Giants. Potential landing spot, Raiders. Trade compensation, 2018 fifth-round pick. Rodgers-Cromartie served a 1-game suspension because of a dispute with head coach Ben McAdoo over his playing time. The Giants' lone win of the season came in Week 6 against the Broncos during his suspension. Upon return in Week 7, Rodgers Cromartie saw a reduced role. He was only on the field for 16 of New York's 76 defensive snaps against the Seahawks. 4 Giants cornerbacks played more than Rodgers Cromartie. Cornerback has been a glaring weakness for the Raiders, who were a preseason favorite to win the AFC. Sean Smith fell out of favor during the preseason. 2017 first-round pick Garyon Conley has been plagued by shin problems. David Amerson's breakout 2015 season seems like an aberration for him. T.J. Carey, who is in a contract year, has been Oakland's most consistent cornerback. Opposing quarterbacks are completing 69% of their passes against the Raiders, 29th in the NFL, although Amir Abdullah is healthy this year. Detroit's 84 rushing yards per game are 26th in the NFL. The Lions rank one spot lower with 3.5 yards per carry. Hill coming remotely close to his performance during the second half of his rookie season in 2014, where he gained 775 yards while averaging 5.1 yards per carry, would be a tremendous boost to a stagnant rushing attack. The injury bug has bitten Bengals tight end Tyler Eifert again. Eifert, who has also headed towards free agency, recently underwent season-ending back surgery. Ebron would have half a season to impress Cincinnati enough to commit to his $8.25 million fifth-year option for 2018. The Lions are likely to release Ebron next off-season before this amount becomes fully guaranteed in March, with the way things are going for him. Reed already switched from free safety, which he played in 2016, to strong safety this season. After a minor knee injury kept Reed out of action for 3 games, he didn't return to strong safety because of Jaquiski Tartt's play during his absence. Reed, who is playing under a $5.676 million fifth-year option, doesn't seem thrilled about his latest move to a hybrid linebacker safety role where he is rotating with linebacker Ray Armstrong. Losing All-Pro safety Eric Berry to a season-ending Achilles injury in the first game against the Patriots is starting to catch up to the Chiefs. During Kansas City's current 2-game losing streak, the defense has given up 944 yards to the Steelers and Raiders. Steelers running back Le'Veon Bell gained 179 yards on the ground in Week 6, while quarterback Raiders Derek Carr threw for 417 yards the following game. Starting cornerback Steven Nelson, who was placed on injured reserve at the beginning of the season with a core muscle injury, could return as early as Week 9's contest against the Cowboys. Fitting the $3,004,941 remaining balance of Reed's $5.676 million base salary could be problematic because the move would leave the Chiefs with right around $600,000 of salary cap room. San Francisco converting some portion Reed's salary into signing bonus prior to the trade might be necessary, so Kansas City would only be responsible for paying Reed $1.5 million to $2 million for the rest of the season. The Chiefs' ammunition to build the roster through the draft would be further depleted, but Kansas City is a Super Bowl contender, having already beaten the defending champion Patriots and given the Eagles their only loss of the season. The Bills got Kansas City's 2018 first-round pick in a trade which led to the selection of quarterback Patrick Mahomes in the first round of this year's draft. The Chiefs don't have a 2018 fifth-round pick because of a preseason trade with the Browns for offensive lineman Cameron Irving.